Okay, next problem I'm going to solve. I'm going to solve one of the biggest issues that we have to deal with. I'm going to solve one of the biggest issues that has to be dealt with in any country worldwide. Although some it's much less of a problem. Usually because of authoritarian regimes that'll chop your fucking head off for stealing a Snickers bar. But anyway, the next problem I would like to solve is crime. So what is crime? Huh? Let's define crime, because the left, they don't seem to know what crime is. So crime is when you commit an act that's illegal. That's it. It's illegal. Now, we can argue the legitimacy of certain laws. This shouldn't be legal. That should, especially when it comes to the drug war, which is a big, total fucking failure and creates more criminals and creates more crime and creates more violence. So we could argue about the veracity of certain laws. I'm not here to do that. I am here to address criminality in and of itself and how we solve the problem of crime. Now you might want to say, Realist Philosopher, you're just trivializing these things. You're being so glib. It's not that easy to solve these kind of problems. Sure it is. Sure it is. You just don't want to. Because you're a big pussy. Bleeding heart, liberal, pussy, simp, wimp who doesn't want to make the hard decisions. Because you don't want to live with the consequences of those decisions. Because you got too much empathy. Because you get too much empathy. You empathize too much. And thereby you can't do what's really necessary and required. You also keep making excuses for these people. So you never call them to task. You never hold them accountable for their actions. Let me tell you something. Crime is so easy to solve. So what is the solution? Well, number one, when somebody breaks the law, you do this very controversial thing. You put them in jail. I know it's super controversial. Break the law, go to jail. Break the law, go to jail. Break the law, go to jail. Go to jail if you break the law. Well, yeah. I know, that's so profound. That's solution number one. Okay? Now, how does my solution differ? Because all I've done really is stated what is pretty much seemingly a common sense fact, prima facie truth. Yeah, people break the law, you put them in jail. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, bring back bail. If you can't pay the bail, you don't get out of jail until your trial. Simple. That's number two. Number three, when people go to jail, now this is key. You make them work. I know that's like some kind of big controversial thing. Making people work. Philosopher, you're just bringing back slavery. The majority of people in jail are black. Making black people work, that's slavery. Is it? When they've given up their rights by breaking the law, by breaking the social compact, is that slavery? Make them work. Make them work. The truth of the matter is that crime is not a byproduct of poverty. We know that already. Hundreds and hundreds of years of research into white communities that are poor. They don't commit anywhere near the amount of crime that blacks do. So there's got to be some kind of differentiation there, which of course is culture and victimhood culture. But I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to get into the causes of crime and how to solve those. Right now, I just want to speak specifically about crime and how we solve it once it has occurred. Somebody breaks the law because they have a victimhood mentality, because they believe they'll never get ahead, and they've been told that whitey is bad and evil, and that all the businesses out there are keeping him down, and if it's a business that's making money, well, that's part of the man, that's part of whitey, that's part of institutional racism, and I can go in there and rob that motherfucking place blind, and it's okay because, they've made me a victim. They made me a victim. reject them because they won't hire me for a job. Did you apply for a job? No. Because, I knew I wouldn't get hired because it's the man, right? So I have no chance anyway. So it's more like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But anyway, you break the law, you go to jail, and then you're forced to work. And in so doing, you learn a valuable skill. That's it. Crime is solved. You see, a lot of people are in and out of jail like a revolving fucking door. There's 3 hots and a cod, and they just sit around all day and watch Sally Jesse Raphael or whatever the fuck is on daytime TV. I don't fucking know. I don't watch TV. I ain't watched TV in ages. I don't know what the fuck is on daytime. I got too many other more important fucking things to do. But whatever's on during the day, Dr. Phil or Oprah, I don't know. But whatever. They sit around all day. They watch TV. They wear their pants down around their ankles, signaling to other dudes in there they want to get fucked in the ass. They fuck each other in the ass. They lift weights. And they watch TV and get their free cable and their 3 hots and a fucking cot. So it's a breeze, really. I mean, unless you're white. Then you fuck, literally. But if you're a black man in jail, you run that place, motherfucker. Yeah. And then you get out and you commit more crimes. And you become a better criminal because all you did was sit inside all day and talk about crime and how to be a better criminal and stuffed your face with the taxpayer-funded free food. Well, what if those criminals now had to spend time working? 8 hours a day. They pay for their own hots. They pay for their own cot. They pay for that cable. And if there's anything else left over, then they get to keep that. And then they get a little nest egg when they get out of prison. Right? So they'd have to learn a useful skill. You put them to work in jail. You teach them a useful skill of some kind. You make them work 8 hours a day. 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. Many of them have probably never had a fucking job, so automatically they're already learning how to be on time for work. And if they're late, they get thrown in the hole. They learn to be on time. They learn to be conscientious. They learn to be hard workers. They learn how to apply themselves. They learn useful human skills, useful human capital, and they can earn money. That might not be a lot. And it should be more than they voluntarily make now, because some people who go to jail, they can choose to work. But that's only if there's a job open and available, and then they get like 5 cents a day or some shit, which is absurd. No, they should get more than that. But they should also be learning skills that pay more and are worth more than that. And then they would be taking responsibility for their bad actions because they would have to be paying for their own incarceration instead of the taxpayer paying for them. Like in California. What's it, like $70,000, $80,000 a year to incarcerate one bro in jail? What if that was 0? What if that number was reduced to 0? What if that prisoner had to work his ass off day in, day out, and produce $75,000 worth of wealth? So 70 went to pay for his incarceration, his free cable, which wouldn't be free anymore, his housing, his food, the guards that are actually have to be paid out of taxpayer coffers to watch him. What if he paid for all that, and then there was $5,000 left over, and then he makes that every year, and then when he gets out of jail, after 5 years in jail, he's got $25,000 in a bank account. And useful human capital that he can then use to get a job that pays very well, hopefully in the trades, which we have a vast shortage of. There's millions of jobs in the trades that are not being filled. And he no longer feels a need or desire to be a criminal because now he's got all these useful skills, these talents, and he's got this money too. So he can stake himself, go out there into the world. He got $25,000. He gets an apartment. He buys a car. He starts looking for a job. Boom! Suddenly you have broken that institutional poverty. Suddenly you have broken that cycle of continual crime. And now, maybe he finds a wife, gets married, has kids, and now he's making good choices, he's making good decisions, and he has some human capital, he has some skill, he has some worthwhile abilities that he can then spin into a family, and a kid who will now have it better than he did because now he's made some good choices. There you go. I just solved crime. I just solved the problem of crime. Bingo bango, baby! Of course, the Democrats don't want that because they want black people to continue to be subservient losers who have to rely upon the government. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. But that's how you solve crime. Once you put these people in jail, you make them work, you make them learn new skills. None of this sit around all fucking day watching TV bullshit. No, you're going to learn or you don't eat. You're going to work or it's in the hole with you, motherfucker. And you're on a bread diet, 1 meal a day. Solves your problems. You don't give them the option to be lazy bums who continue the cycle of criminality by wasting all of this time in prison and not using it to better themselves. You force them to better themselves. Well, at the same time, they're now paying for their own incarceration, saves the taxpayer billions, hundreds of billions of fucking dollars nationwide. Problem solved. Problem solved. There you go, I just solved crime. After the fact. Now there's other things you can do to stamp crime out before it even occurs, but I'm talking about criminality, criminals, once they've committed a crime, once they have been put into jail to do the time, you use that time productively. You make them use that time productively. And when they get out of prison, they have options. They have choices. There you go. There you go. I just reformed prisons. And I totally, completely solved the issue of continued criminality. I've broken that link. No more criminals. Well, we gotta have criminals, right? Because we gotta have boogeymen. We gotta have chaos, yo. Gotta have anarchy. And have to have agents to perpetuate that anarchy so people are terrified, scared, shitless, and feel like they need the government to protect them. Well, we don't have the criminals to provide that anarchy and chaos, so, well, we might feel safe enough that, we feel we don't need the government. Can't have that. So there you go. I just solved crime. After the fact, that is, but still, that would very quickly whittle down our prison population, because the majority of people in prison are repeat offenders. You implement my policies, watch those prisons populations dwindle to near zero, except for, of course, the illegal aliens that continue to come into the country. But even then, we would educate them mofos and give them useful skills so they could then go out into the workforce and, steal even more jobs from, hardworking actual Americans. But anyway, there you go, crime solved, baby. See how powerful philosophy is?